Hello there, people of the internet. So if you are if you're someone in the firearms community and you've been around the firearms community for a little while, you know that there's a pretty strong debate as to whether or not you should use some form of shotgun for personal protection, or if you should get yourself some sort of rifle for personal protection. I don't care what you decide to go with. I don't care what you decide to use. I don't intend to put myself in a position that will require you to protect yourself against me. So I don't care what platform it is that you decide to run. So let's go ahead and, well, actually I'll go ahead and I'll tell this story. I guess I immediately found out about what my preference would be, whether or not it would be shotgun or rifle, because on my way walking out here, I was holding both of these just like this, walking my happy ass out here to the gun range so I can make this video. And as I was walking out here, I saw something in the corner of my eye, and then I heard some movement, and I was like, oh God, what the hell is going on? And as it turned out, there was a tree branch that was falling down in the background. But just with how it looked and just like the sudden reaction that I had, with the way that the sunlight was reflecting off of the tree branch, it looked like I was being rushed by some kind of animal, and just like sudden instinct caught on to me, and I went into fight or flight mode. And what did I do with these two firearms? I dropped the shotgun and I got my AK ready in the event that I had to use it. So I guess I just figured out which I prefer. I literally, just like out of instinct, I threw the shotgun on the ground and grabbed the AK, and that's what I was going to use to protect myself. But anyway, there's a lot of pros and cons between these two different platforms. And I'm not going to talk about like specifically the Remington 870 pump action shotgun, which is what I have here, or the AK-47 chambered in 7.62x39, which is what I have right here. I'm not going to talk about these particular platforms. You know, if you want an AR platform, if you want an M14, if you want a full power rifle, a bolt action rifle, I don't care. I don't care what your system is. There's pros and cons for all the systems, but right now we're going to talk about the shotgun versus the rifle and what it is that you should use for your own personal protection. So close range, if you are in an area, well, I guess it depends on your area and what it is that you're having to deal with in that particular area. But if you're in an area that's like, you know, you're going to be dealing with close range things, maybe you are in an apartment building or something like that, and you don't necessarily want a full power rifle or an intermediate caliber rifle while you're dealing with whatever it is that you're dealing with inside of this apartment complex, maybe a shotgun with some number 4 shot or something like that would be ideal, so you don't have to worry too terribly much about over penetration, unlike what you would have to worry about if you send some 7.62x39 lead going downrange in that apartment building. You definitely have to worry about over penetration with something like that. So if you're in an area where close quarters is definitely going to be the thing, then maybe having yourself a shotgun would be the preferred way to go. Shotguns are very universal in the event that you are in a situation like a survivalist type situation, and your self-defense shotgun, well, you could use your self-defense shotgun for more than just self-defense. With the variety of different things that you can use with this shotgun, between slugs, buckshot, and birdshot, and the varieties of different shot types and the varieties of different recoil types, like reduced recoil buckshot really is not all that bad, especially out of a full-size shotgun like this right here. There's just a tremendous amount of options that you can run through your shotgun. So if you are looking for one firearm to absolutely rule everything, and you're not in an area like I am at where somebody could start popping shots off at you from 600 yards away, maybe a good solid shotgun would be a good way to go. However, bear in mind, although shotguns can be accurate with their slugs, if the slugs are rifled, they're still not going to be as accurate as a designated rifle. Now there are, hold on, let me just make sure there's nothing alive in this thing. Yeah, now there are some downsides to the shotgun. Definitely has the power at close ranges. Get off of me, you. That's exactly what I was trying to avoid. Don't need no living critters on me. But in close range, shotguns are absolutely devastating, and they can be devastating out to some pretty long distances. However, the ammunition is bulky and heavy, and it can be expensive to find depending on what kind of ammunition it is that you're looking for. If you're looking for specialty ammunition, then it can absolutely cost as much as rifle ammunition can cost. Now, since the ammunition is large and heavy, you'll be able to carry less of it on person in comparison to the size and weight ratio of a rifle with that same surface area being taken up and the same amount of weight. If we're talking like apples to apples comparison, like weight and size ratio, you'll have more ammunition for a rifle, an intermediate caliber rifle, like say a 223 or some 30 caliber, than you would for a shotgun. However, with a shotgun, all of your different shot sizes, like all of your different shot types, whether or not it's birdshot, buckshot, or slug, they're all going to be the same size. They're all going to be a 12 gauge diameter. So it doesn't matter whether or not you want to run some extremely powerful slugs or if you want to run some lightweight birdshot, it's all going to take up the same size space. So that is one cool thing about the shotgun that nobody really talks about. Now, capacity on the shotgun, it's going to be less because your ammunition is larger. And since the shotgun shells feed more reliably from a tube fed as opposed to a magazine fed feeding system, I recommend going with a classic magazine fed feeding system. Now, if you get yourself, or a classic tube fed feeding system, if you get yourself a magazine fed feeding system, bear in mind that the reliability is probably going to be a little bit less, and you're likely going to get some malfunctions from your shotgun, especially if it is a budget tier level shotgun. However, with that decrease in reliability, you gain an increase in reload speed. With a magazine-fed shotgun, all you have to do is pull the old mag out, put the new mag in, and continue to run it. Whereas with a tube-fed shotgun, you have to load every single individual round into that tube before you can go ahead and fire. Now, people that are fast and capable at running a shotgun can feed directly into the chamber pretty quickly, and that's definitely a viable option, but at the same time, that is still going to be slower than having some sort of rifle, some sort of self-loading rifle that you can use, especially if it is a magazine-fed system. So shotguns are great whenever they're running, but whenever you are out of rounds and they're no longer running, you start to run into problems. No pun intended. But within like 50 yards, they are definitely devastating. I would not want to rely on a shotgun other than like slugs from a well-known to be accurate shotgun. If they're like rifled slugs, or maybe you have yourself a rifled barrel and you have good sights, I wouldn't want to push a shotgun past 50 yards and bet my life on it. Whereas a rifle, these rifles are designed to be able to, if we're talking about intermediate caliber rifles, they're designed to be able to handle all the way out to like 500 yards. There are people who can push them out past that. However, for the average person, 500 yards in is pretty much going to be the maximum for a rifle like this. Go ahead and pop the safety off of there. Whenever you're dealing with the rifle, you're going to have less power most of the time, unless we're talking about like a full power rifle, like if you have an M1 Garand or M1 Garand, chambered in 30-06, and you have some spicy 30-06 and an updated gas system in that bad boy, then that's going to be a force to be reckoned with. However, if somebody's going to use a rifle for a defensive situation, more often than not, they're going to pick some kind of intermediate caliber rifle, which is going to have less power than our 12 gauge, even if we're talking about, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and not finish that statement. So I'm just going to go ahead and send some lead down range. If you get yourself a self-loading rifle, you'll also have faster follow-up shots, and if you run out of ammunition like I just did here, all you gotta do, pull your old mag out, put your new mag in, rack the slide, or in this particular case, rack the charging handle, and you are back in business. Whereas if you're rocking a classic tube-fed shotgun, which is going to be more reliable than your magazine-fed, it is going to take more time to reload because you have to grab your shotgun shell and load one round at a time into the tube, then rack your what would I call that? Rack your pump, rack your pump, and then you are going to town. Now, if you do not have time to load directly into the tube, there are shell holders and whatnot that you can keep either on your shotgun or on your person, to where you can just grab right from the shell holder, drop it right into the chamber, and you can go ahead and just continue to drop rounds into the chamber, and you can run a shotgun pretty fast if you have the capabilities to do so. But at the same time, it takes a lot of training, takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of effort to be able to get halfway decent with a shotgun. So which would I recommend? Honestly, if I was going to recommend something to somebody, if they were just going to have one firearm to do everything, I would recommend going with a shotgun. I know that's going to be kind of a controversial pick, but man, these things are just so freaking universal, and they can handle a variety of different jobs. Whereas if you get yourself a 7.62 by 39 or a 5.56 or whatever other kind of rifle you want, you are limited to the power of that particular cartridge through that particular rifle. Now, you can go with different bullet weights and whatnot, but for the most part, all the rifle or all the cartridges are still going to be shooting at the SAMI spec pressures, so you're still going to have relatively the same amount of energy going downrange in comparison to what a shotgun is capable of doing. For example, I wouldn't mind using some bird shot or something to take out a squirrel or a raccoon, and if I do that, then I will not lose all of the meat. However, with an AK-47, I wouldn't want to hit a squirrel with a 7.62 by 39 because there's going to be nothing left. But if I have a bear coming at me, hey, 12 gauge slug would do wonders on that bear. A 1 ounce 12 gauge slug, especially a magnum round, 1 ounce of lead traveling at about 1,750 feet per second. It's absolutely insane the amount of devastation that a round like that has on target. Whereas something like a 7.62 by 39 would be a little bit on the anemic side for taking out a bear. I mean, yeah, it can be done, and yeah, you have yourself a whole lot of rounds inside of this AK platform, but I would still not want to bet myself on the 7.62 by 39 versus a bear. Yes, it can happen. Yes, shot placement. Yes, this, that, and the other. But like I said, in the heat of the moment, I wouldn't want to bet on that. And if you get decent with your shotgun and you have yourself some good accurate shotgun slugs through your particular shotgun, then you can make some pretty damn accurate shots out at some pretty damn long distances. I have seen shots with shotguns done at 300 plus yards. And so it is possible, you can do it. However, a rifle, a legitimate designated rifle, definitely has the advantage whenever it comes to range. Anything past 300 yards with shotgun slugs, out of the best shotgun with the best shooter, it's still going to start to get pretty gosh darn inaccurate. They're just not made to shoot at significant distances. So if it's one size fits all, go with the shotgun just because of how freaking universal it is. But if you're looking specifically for keeping yourself safe and specifically for this is my defensive firearm and nothing else, I have my hunting and survival stuff, you know, besides this particular rifle, then I would probably go with some kind of automatic intermediate caliber rifle. If you want to go with a full power rifle, go ahead. I don't recommend using bolt actions for defensive purposes, but there are some people out there who do decide to do that. Whatever it is you feel like using, by all means, you go ahead and you do whatever it is that you want to do. The beauty about this country is you can pick what it is that you decide to defend yourself with. That being said, thanks for watching, folks. I appreciate your time. Like, subscribe, share. Description below has a link to all sorts of stuff. Go ahead and go check that out. You guys go off, have yourself a fantastic day. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are down below. Do you use a rifle or a shotgun for your defensive purposes? Well, I use a rifle myself, but because of the area I'm in, that's pretty much the main reason why I've chosen a rifle. All right, I will see you guys on the next video. Been a little while since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garrett.
shame that bolt-action shotguns aren't more mainstream.